to restrict travel from countries in southern Africa. But while we have that travel restrictions can slow the speed of Omicron, it cannot prevent it. But here's what it does. It gives us time. It gives us time to take more actions, to move quicker, to make sure people understand you have to get your vaccine. You have to get the shot. You have to get the booster. If you're sooner or later, we're going to see cases of this new variant here in the United States. We'll have to face this new threat just as we faced those that come before it. Today, there are three messages about the new variant that I want the American people to hear. First, this variant is a cause for concern, not a cause for panic. We have the best vaccine in the world, the best medicines, the best scientists, and we're learning more every single day. And we'll fight this variant with scientific and knowledgeable actions and speed, not chaos and confusion. We have more tools today to fight the variant than we've ever had before, from vaccines to boosters to vaccines for children, 5 years and older, and much more. A year ago, America was floundering against the first variant of COVID. We beat that variant significantly, and then we got hit by a far more powerful threat, the Delta variant. But we took action, and now we're seeing deaths from Delta come down. We'll fight and look, we're going to fight and beat this new variant as well. We're learning more about this new variant every single day. And as we learn more, we're going to share that information with the American people candidly and promptly. Second, the best protection, I know you're tired of hearing me say this, the best protection against this new variant or any of the variants out there, the ones we've been dealing with already, is getting fully vaccinated and getting a booster shot. Most Americans are fully vaccinated, but not yet boosted. If you're 18 years or over and got fully vaccinated before June the 1st, go get the booster shot today. They're free, and they're available at 80,000 locations coast to coast. A fully vaccinated booster person is the most protected against COVID. Do not wait. Go get your booster if it's time for you to do so. And if you are not vaccinated, now's the time to get vaccinated and take your children to be vaccinated. Every child age 5 or older can get safe, effective vaccines now. While it will be a few weeks before we know everything we need to know about how strongly the existing vaccines protect against the new variant, Dr. Fauci is with me today, of our medical team, and believe that the vaccines will continue to provide a degree of protection against severe disease. And as additional protections, please wear your mask when you're indoors, in public settings, around other people. It protects you, it protects those around you. Third, in the event, hopefully unlikely, that updated vaccinations or boosters are needed to respond to this new variant, we will accelerate their development and deployment with every available tool. I want to reiterate, Dr. Fauci believes that the current vaccines provide at least some protection against the new variant, and the boosters strengthen that protection significantly. We do not yet believe that additional measures will be needed, but so that we are prepared if needed, my team is already working with officials at Pfizer and Moderna and Johnson & Johnson to develop contingency plans for vaccines or boosters if needed. And I will also direct the FDA and the CDC to use the fastest process available without cutting any corners for safety to get such vaccines approved and on the market if needed. And we'll do that the same way any modifications are needed or current treatments need used to help those who get ill with the COVID virus. Look, I'm sparing no effort and removing all roadblocks to keep the American people safe. All of this is confusing to a lot of people, but if it's confusing to you, let me close with this simple message. If you are vaccinated, but still worried about the new variant, get your booster. If you aren't vaccinated, get that shot. Go get that first shot. My team at the White House will provide me with daily updates this week. And on Thursday, I'll be putting forward a detailed strategy outlining how we're going to fight COVID this winter. not with shutdowns or lockdowns, but with more widespread vaccinations, boosters, testing, and more. I promised every American that there will always be the latest vaccines available and the booster shots available to them and for free and everywhere available. Every single American, free of charge, and I will keep that commitment. But we need to do more than vaccinate Americans. To beat the pandemic, we have to vaccinate the world as well, and America is leading that effort. We've shipped for free more vaccines to other countries than all other countries in the world combined. Over 275 million vaccines to 110 countries. Now we need the rest of the world to step up as well. Let me be clear. Not a single vaccine shot Americans ever send to the rest of the world will ever come at the expense of any American. I will always make sure that our people are protected first. But vaccinating the world is just one more tool in how we need to meet our moral obligation as Americans and how to best protect Americans as well. The Delta variants and now the Omicron variant all emerged elsewhere in the world. So we can't let up until the world is vaccinated. We're protecting Americans by doing that as well. As we continue this effort, let's remember where we stand. We're in a very different place as we enter the month of December, this month, compared to where we were last Christmas. Last Christmas, fewer than 1% of American adults were vaccinated. This Christmas, the number will be over 71%, including more than 86% of seniors. Last Christmas, our children were at risk without a vaccine. This Christmas, we have safe and effective vaccines for children ages 5 and older, with more than 19 million children and counting now vaccinated. Last year, a majority of schools were closed. This year, 99% of our schools are open. Let me reiterate once more. We also now have booster shots that provide extra protection. They're free and convenient. There is still time to get your first 2 shots or your booster shot or get your children vaccinated before Christmas. All 3 are available and can be done before Christmas. If you and your family are fully vaccinated, you can celebrate the holidays much more safely. And given where we were last year, that's a blessing that none of us should take for granted. We're throwing everything we can at this virus, tracking it from every angle. And that's what we have to keep doing. That's how we reopen our country. That's how we reopen our businesses. That's how we reopen our schools. That's how, even with the pandemic, we've generated a record job creation, a record economic growth in this country. We've moved forward in the face of COVID-19. We have moved forward in the face of the Delta variant. And we have moved forward now in the face of the Omicron variant as well. So thank you. May God bless our troops. And I hope you all have, I'll be speaking before them, but a Merry Christmas as we approach it. Questions?
Should Americans be worried, sir?
Let me call on Nancy Bloom.
If you're just joining us this midday, the president is addressing the discovery of the Omicron variant. Now, it has yet to be detected here in the States, but the president is urging anyone who is not vaccinated to go ahead and do so, also encouraging booster shots to effectively respond to this new variant. Another developing story, Little Elm High School students walking out of class this morning as school resumed for the first time since several were arrested during a walkout 10 days ago. Our Chris Sadeghi is live with the latest this midday. Good morning, Chris.
Cleo, the administration did expect another protest when students returned to school here today. That's why the mayor and the superintendent were out here trying to keep things from getting out of hand like they did a couple of weeks ago. At around 9:15 this morning, that's when we saw several dozen students leave the building and then they gathered outside. We did see some school staffers out keeping an eye out on the gathering. Afterwards, some students came over and told us that the mayor and the superintendent were there to speak with them about their concerns and promised to hear the students out and support them, but also urged that it all be done peacefully. The protests stem from what students say was a report of a sexual assault from a student and what they feel was a lack of action from the school's administration. That's what they were protesting the Friday before last week's fall break, and it ended with a student with police using pepper spray and tasers on the students. Video showing the officers and their force began circulating online, much to the concern of parents. The district said the use of force happened when officers were assaulted and that students were trying to break into an administrator's office. The principal wrote a letter to students and parents over the break saying they expected any protests today would be peaceful, safe, and not disrupt the learning environment, adding there would be extra security and counselors on campus this week. I spoke to one parent who showed up here today to support her daughter taking part in the protest.
But there's a lot of unanswered questions, and I think that there's several issues here that we really need answers about, both with the police action and why these kids felt the need to demonstrate in such a huge way in the first place. That's a problem.
And Little Elm police said they would investigate the actions of their officers. The district is holding a listening session tomorrow night for parents to take part in this discussion, but the district also added that there's been a lot of falsehoods and misinformation concerning that initial sexual assault allegation that led to these protests. Cleo, back to you.
Chris, thank you. Coming up here on Midday, are you doing a little bit of online shopping today for Cyber Monday? We're taking a closer look at the best deals and how the supply chain problems are having an impact on all of this. And a real or a fake Christmas tree? Which side are you on? Coming up, a holiday tree expert explains why the real ones are better.
Awesome.
Welcome back. Thanksgiving weekend is behind us and people are decking the halls and putting up their Christmas trees for the holiday season. Now get this, the National Christmas Tree Association says about 30 million real Christmas trees are sold in the U.S. every year. So if you're interested in getting a real one this year, you got to act fast right now. There's some issues going on. Joining us this morning is Jeff Patton from Patton Christmas Trees in Dallas. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Cleo.
Oh, I love to see the trees behind you here. So how was the first main weekend of the Christmas season for you guys?
Well, Cleo, we had just a record-breaking weekend. It was exciting. We had a lot of people coming on the lot and a lot of trees moving out of the lot.
I could only imagine, Jeff. Now, there's some headlines circulating about a tree shortage and some possible supply chain issues. Is that setting you guys back?
No, here at Patton's Christmas Trees, we've been operational since 1975, and so we've got great relationships with our growers. And we actually put our Christmas tree order in before the end of last season.
Oh.
Expectation that there would be some difficulties getting trees.
Okay, so you got an early start.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And then over the past 4 months, we have hustled to ensure that we would have an adequate supply.
Okay, so how's the inventory for your trees after this weekend? And do you foresee having enough trees for the season? Because some people have yet to get their tree.
Very true. Yeah, this was our biggest main weekend, and we have a great supply of larger trees, as you can see in the background. We did sell about 95% of our smaller trees, but we've been doing this a while, and so we have another shipment coming in this week. So we'll be resupplied and ready for the rest of the season.
Oh, good to know, Jeff. All right, let's talk about the great debate, because there's people that are like, oh, no way, I'm not getting a real tree. I'm keeping my fake one that I've had for 15, 20 years. How do we get some people to make the switch, and why should we switch?
Definitely. Well, first off, live Christmas tree is classic. It's timeless. It really does bring the smells into the home. Second off, it's great there for U.S. jobs. It creates jobs here domestically, whereas artificial trees are typically manufactured overseas. And then finally, another key point is just the environmental factors.